once was so clear. The feeling of
Hello, everybody. It's my great pleasure today to speak to Victoria Horne. Hello, Victoria.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I've been rushing a bit to make this meeting, so I'm happy I made it because there's a lot of traffic in the road. So,
well, we had both the same problem. I had to go all the way up to Harlem, and the trains were messed up, and now I'm down back in the village to meet you today.
Cool. Well, nice to see you. Look, we haven't done this for a while, so give your fans a little bit of an update, please. What's been going on in your life? I know you worked down in Key West, and now you're back in New York. So tell us a little bit what you're doing.
Well, right now, I'm being settled here in New York, and I'm living at a place they call West Beth. I've been trying to get in here for many years, and it's a place for famous artists and artists who are just trying to continue their lives. Work. There's sculptures here, there's painters here, there's photographers here, there are musicians here.
Wonderful.
And so I've got to meet quite a few people already. I have a neighbor next door to me. She just turned 99 years old. She was a European dancer, and she's out of Vega, in the Eastern Bloc countries. And she's been dancing all her life, giving instructions to people, and you will not believe how well she moves around. I can't believe that she's 99 years old. So the city celebrated her birthday last week. Such artists. I have a photographer and a writer that lives down the hall from me. So I put up a website here at West Beth to show some of my artwork, and I finally was able to unpack after traveling all over the world for a long time, some of my pictures and some of the works that I'm doing here, and introducing myself to the family of West Beth.
Very nice. That sounds exciting. That sounds fun. That's really cool. I'm so happy for you. You landed there. That's really great.
So,
And so what's happening with the music? What are you doing? Have you been working on anything? Are you recording? Are you performing? What's happening?
I'm performing finally after 2 years of passing of the COVID, I would like to say passing, back down in Key West. I got to Key West because I was working at the HTA, Historical Tours of America, and wanted to change my life a little bit, and then found a wonderful jazz club called the Little Jazz Room. And there I started to meet musicians in the United States instead of traveling all over the place, which is what I've been doing. So I've made a little family, let's put it that way. So wonderful pianist, Larry Smith, wonderful drummer, Skipper Kravitz, Joe Dallas. And because we've been working together for almost 2 years at the Little Jazz Room, we formed a family. And of course, Joe Dallas is the head of the Big Paradise Big Band in Key West. And I got connected with them. So now after 2 years, I'll get a chance to go back to Key West and to perform. I've also had another friend who
it's a big orchestra, yeah?
17 pieces.
Oh, nice.
But they're not all adults. They're children, too.
Okay. Well, if they can play, doesn't matter how old they are.
No, right. Well, this is true. But just to let you know that it's concluded with adults and children. Or I would say not children, but teenagers or, who are in school, high school.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm looking forward to that. It's a swing time jazz show. And I'm grateful to be able to get in there and do a couple of numbers. Now, recently, there was a wonderful pianist who is beloved in Key West, and he unfortunately just passed away. His name was Coffee Butler. So yesterday, the Councilman Clinton Lopez and his family, they had a funeral and a march for him. They also have a theater for Coffee Butler. I believe Coffee Butler was in his 90s when he just passed away about a week or so ago. So my thought was to do one of the songs that I'm going to sing as a little bit of a dedication. Maybe it's a little bit soon to say that, but that was my plan when I do get there in March.
Oh, that's a nice idea. I'm sure he would love that.
Yeah. And so we're trying to make sure that we record me in the show, so you'll have a little piece and snippet to look at. I've been dying to come back to Europe, but for some reason, the door hasn't opened.
The big bloody sea is still happening. It's so difficult to organize anything. You know, last year we had 4 people touring. That fell through. This year we had 4 acts that we're still trying, but it's so difficult because from last year, the people who didn't play, now if there are openings now in festivals and concerts, whatever, they're bringing the people who didn't play last year into this year. So it's like a backlog of acts that want to play, plus the new acts who all want to come to Europe. And it's just not as open yet as we would all like it to be.
Right.
So, yeah, I think I'm hoping that by next year, it kind of we're over this stuff, but this year still, even though Denmark just opened up, no more restrictions, nothing. England almost 8 countries around the world, so it's more and more countries are, I think, now opening up, so that people can go and watch some music.
Right. Well, speaking of music, did you see the American football last night with the halftime?
No, I heard the halftime show was a bunch of old rappers, so that was pretty cool. I heard they did great, so but I didn't see it. No, I was sleeping.
Well, it's been getting rave reviews this morning. Although I'm not into rap, but I do listen and I do collect the music to keep in touch, you know.
Yeah.
Because I love music. It's my whole life. So I'm also working with younger people these days.
Good thing.
And they're taking me a run for my money.
Good. It's good to look. I'm an old timer now. I'm 64. I'm 65 this summer. It's completely ridiculous. But anyway, I always, when I was young, I always hung out with older people, you know, and you know all the musicians as they're coming in as a teenager and stuff and learning and I always figured that's actually quite cool. I can learn from the experience and stuff. And I figured when I'm older, I'm going to hang out with younger people. And that's what's happening in my life now. I hardly ever meet a person that's older than me lately, which is weird. But I get to hang out with the younger people and share my experiences. And it's good like that.
Well, it's important like that, too, because we also have to give back.
That's right.
You know,
exactly
there
right.
are these older people that came and helped us, but now
That's
it's our turn to
That's
do
right.
that.
Exactly right. Yes.
You know, but to understand the mentality,
That's
especially
different.
of the New Yorkers, they have a mind of their own and a personality of their own. And it's like, well, we don't talk to her, but they watch. They check
you out. They check you out.
You know, they do. And then when it's like a cat. When they want to get purred and touched, they'll be, oh, hi, Victoria. How you doing? And then when it's like, well, okay, I don't want everybody to see what I do, but every now and then they'll say hello. So
have they heard you sing yet?
No.
That's going to change everything then.
Yeah, I believe so. But a lot of them that I'm working with, they're all artists. From writers to musical comedy to film. They talk about the theater all the time, and they like to play games all the time on the computer. I just look and say, okay, because it's really not my thing. But at the same time, I have to stay tuned with them. And the reason I have to stay tuned with them, because where I'm working at now means that you have to be online. You have to be active that way, whether you really want to or not. Yeah. So it's like, you don't want to say how old you are really, but they know you're an adult. They know you're an adult.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that reminds me, when I was a student, I studied film, theater, and television, and I was a musician. So I was in the music crowd, but also in the arty-farty theater, TV, film type crowd, and that time we were doing very artistic things, like stand there, put a circle of something around you and have a bucket of sand, and then you put the bucket of, like, performance art, put the bucket, we did a lot of that back then. So it sounds like that kind of place. That sounds so exciting. It's really cool.
It is. So, there are days, I have to say to myself, well, how long do you think you'll be able to handle this? But right now it's 3 months. I'm 3 months with them. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm taking one day at a time, one step at a time. I'm learning, and I'm being smacked around to say, hey, this is what's going on now. Whatever you did before, okay, that's beautiful. I have been lucky to have traveled to almost 80 countries in my life, and also lived in Germany for a long time, lived in France for a long time. So when I look at the pictures and the documents that I've collected, I want to write about them, which I've been telling you that forever. Perhaps right at this moment, I'm settled enough to start to write about what happened to me back in the day. I'm going to put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Back in the day of Bob Dylan and Tight Connection and all of that. I never thought I was going to be in this place that I am in my soul. And I ask the question all the time in my own religious thing. I say, well, God, why do you have me here? Well, he has you here for a reason, because you have to teach and you have to learn patience. Oh, yes. So there it is. That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, is there any plan, anything in terms of recording? Are you busy with that? Are you making connections in New York to find some people you can work with?
I have some musicians that I could possibly do something with, but everybody's in a protective cage still. And also there are some people who, because they didn't work for a long time, they became very expensive. They don't want to go out because they're afraid about COVID. So I'm here in New York now about 4 months. I talk to a lot of people online, as you already know, and I like to express photography, music, and so on. I was invited to someone's concert, but I'm not able to right now because I'm working. So it's not away from me, but I just have to take one day, one step.
Of course.
And when I come back, I will be different than when I was 2 years ago.
Absolutely, yes. Well, it will be really interesting to see you with that orchestra and in the Keys. And please make sure you will get some video footage of that.
I'm definitely going to do that. I'm excited about it, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say at the end of our little interview to your fans, to your friends, to the world, anything?
To the world, I want to say thank you for the growth. And thank you for the folks that have been following me, for just being there, watching my little flowers that I send out. By the way, happy Valentine's Day. And I thank you, Wolf, because I know you, almost 6 years. You've been very honest. Yeah, you've been very honest with me. Sometimes I feel like, did I mess with my father? I don't mean it in a bad way.
I'm not that old.
No, I don't mean it in a bad way, but sometimes you show me things. Sometimes it's not always nice, and sometimes I have to look at it and say, wow, did I do that? And then I always want to, like a child, apologize.
I'll be better.
Did I do it again? No, but I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? I thank you so much for just staying there with me, even when I don't have something out right in front of me. But, I have all I have to give. And I always try to send nice things away. And I always want to have a positive message to say. Want to keep the negativity out. So I give you a kiss.
Oh, thank you. Tell you what, we're slowly, because we're slowly starting to do pre-production for another Wave of Love festival. It was after the last one, the inaugural one. Bobby and I were so exhausted. I mean, we had worked our butts off for a good half year, and we didn't, we basically worked for the fun of it. And it was tough. We didn't sleep. I mean, you try to organize a worldwide concert in 22 countries with 23 bands during a pandemic. This is fucking crazy. Anyway, so I would love it if we get the next one going, that you would come and do a performance for us this time.
I would like to do that. I also want to say something to Rudiger Gleisberg, because he has helped me. Gleisberg, he has helped me quite a bit and has really been there, on my side.
He's
and
a lovely guy.
Thank him, for introducing me to the songs that he has, especially Hope.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to say, because he's been there too. So, and also my friend from Brazil,
Bobby D.
Yes, Bobby D, because it was because of Bobby D I know you.
I know, we spoke about that a few days ago, because he wants to introduce another artist to me. And he said, I could become a talent scout for you. I said, you already are a talent scout. You brought Victoria. Yeah. And he said, oh, damn, I forgot that. So, I mean, he didn't really forget, but he didn't think about it. So, yes, I speak to Bobby a lot, and I'll give him your regards for sure.
Please do. So, as they say, what is it? A gros bisou, a big kiss.
Grand bisou. Merci beaucoup. À vous aussi. And have a good day, and so nice to see you, and speak very soon.
Thank you. All right. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Love and like the sky can be clear again. I know you